Okay, in number 25, rather than give us the point and tell us the slope, they've given us the graph of the line. And make a little room here. You can see they've labeled the point 3, 3. So just like in the previous problem, they told us 1 point. And now if we just knew the slope, which we do if we go from this point to that point, we go down 1. So we rise, the slope is rise over run. So we rise a -1, and then we run, so we rise a -1, and then we run a -2, negative because it's to the left. So -1 over -2 can be rewritten as 1/2. So think about this now. This is a critical moment for a lot of my students if it's the first time they've thought about this. If you rise a -1 and run a -2, you end up over here. Well, that reduces to 1 over 2. So what happens if we rise 1 and run 2? Lo and behold, we still end up on the line. And if we keep doing that, we rise 1 and run 2, we're still on the line. In fact, if you even look at, let me make sure that you understand, at this point we found our slope, and I'm just elaborating on something that I think is important. 1/2 can be written as 4/8, for example, and look from here. If we rise from any of these points, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then go over 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, we end up on the line. So it's almost amazing, but not really amazing, because it's just a system that works, that if we use a fraction that hasn't been reduced down, we still end up on the line. So that's something worth at least once or twice taking note of. But to continue and solve this, we've got our y equals mx plus b, and we don't know what our b is, so we got to put 3 in for x, 3 in for y, and 1/2 in for m. And then we've got to solve for b, which is just like what we did before. Now this 3 is a 3 over 1, and I really hope none of my students get stumped by that. I've actually run into 2 or 3 students asking me, how do I multiply 3 times 1/2? But anyways, so it's a 3 over 1, top times the top, bottom times the bottom, so we get 3 over 2 plus b, and that equals 3. Now we've got to subtract 3/2. Subtract 3/2. That gets rid of that. Now 3 minus 3/2, let's do a little work off to the side. 3 over 1 minus 3 over 2. To get a common denominator, we've got to multiply the top and the bottom by 2. So we get 6 over 2 minus 3 over 2, and that would be 3 over 2. So b is actually 3/2. So let's rewrite it. Y equals, we know that our m was 1/2, x plus 3/2. And that's how you do it. It's exactly like the previous problem we did as an example, only this time they're giving us the graph and expecting us to extract that information from it.